Welcome back to Mike and Gen Xing Around the World. I am Mike.
I'm Jen. And we're going to Gen X around the world, I guess.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, well, around.
You know one thing we always forget to say?
What?
Like, share, subscribe.
Share, subscribe. And this is for entertainment purposes. Our opinions are our own and blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. That's the whole disclaimer. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but it's free to subscribe.
Yes,
just like us. And
if you subscribe to the channel, all you're going to do is get an email when we put out a new episode. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does help us.
Yeah. Lets us know that we should keep doing this because it's the way we keep getting at least we're moving up.
Oh, we are.
We're not staying stagnant. So if we kind of plateau, then maybe we can reconsider and spend our time a different way. But until then, we're enjoying doing it. And
the way I figure the worst case scenario is I get to talk to my wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we make the kids go away. So
all the better.
We come from a time where kids are to be seen and not heard. I mean, that's how it was in my house.
That is how it was. And I mean, my mom was like, she really didn't do much. We just kind of always went outside. There was nothing to do.
And my parents were like, we're not here to entertain you.
No, I did.
But they wouldn't let me do anything either.
Crazy?
It was, yeah. So it's like.
They were kind of messing with you at that point.
Yeah, I think so. It's like mind games our parents played.
Right. So when I was growing up, we didn't have video games in the house until I think my brother got a Nintendo when I was like 11.
I got a Nintendo when it came out.
Wow. That's crazy.
That Christmas, yeah.
You must have been loaded. No, I'm just kidding.
And no, I was an only child, and no, we were not loaded by any stretch of the imagination.
No, my brother got one, and he didn't ever let me play it. Actually, he had an Atari, then a Nintendo, and I didn't have anything.
Full confession.
Yeah.
With that Nintendo, I only had the one game. I ended up getting Zelda, but I could never play it. I didn't get it. Like I only played Super Mario Brothers, and then when I beat it, I tried to figure out how to there was ways you can you would do it with one guy, and then you would do it with
I did that.
using without any warps because there was warps, and then trying to figure out where all of the warp zones were.
Yep.
And then trying to get unlimited lives. So, and once I
could never do that.
Yeah, you had to jump on the little beetle thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
I could never do
yeah.
it. I knew how. People showed me how to do it, but I could never do it.
Yeah.
Never.
So but once I kind of hit that plateau, I never played it again.
That's funny. Now,
but video games, those were my thing as far as the board type ones.
Right.
Those were the only ones
I remember
liked.
when we had the Wii, and you could download games off the Wii shop or whatever, and we got Super Mario Brothers. And at that point, I beat it again. Then I beat it with one guy with warping. Then I tried to beat it going through every level with one guy, and I couldn't do it. That was just too hard.
Yeah, but we got me what was it, Super Paper Mario or something like that?
For the DS.
Yeah, but then we got one for the Wii where I could switch it. You could turn the paddle, so it was like a regular.
It was awesome.
Like a Nintendo one, and I remember. But once I beat that, I never wanted to play it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of your thing.
Yeah, I don't like to watch repeats either, so maybe that's part of my ADHD.
I don't know.
I keep saying we have to do an episode on our ADHD.
We will.
We really should
once we can focus long enough to actually talk about it. that's kind of the conundrum.
Yeah, we're not going to give you all the stats and all that kind of stuff because that's another thing. You can get that from the internet. That's the great thing about today's day and age. But we can kind of talk about our experiences, and maybe you guys have some of the same. I'm not sure, but. You'll notice us kind of going off script every now and again, and it's the ADHD.
Back at growing up without video games, obviously my mom didn't want to be bothered with me around, so we just went outside. We always went outside.
Now back to video games. Our kids are always on video games.
It's horrible.
I hate it.
But now, yes, I agree. They are in their sports though.
Right, but they can't just go outside like we used to.
No.
I mean, it's a different world. I mean, our kids aren't little anymore. When they were younger, we kind of lived in a community where I felt safe letting them go outside. Yeah. However, they couldn't leave our parameters, which were very strict. The older boys, that was a little bit different again, but I still was a little bit more strict, and I think it was because I knew what we did growing up.
Thank God there's no film evidence.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we were bad. I mean, we weren't delinquents, but we definitely.
We were telling when my brother was in town. We were telling the story. We used to live by an overpass, right? It was a railroad track overpass, and on Route 12 there is a 4-lane highway,
in Illinois.
And we were deciding to throw rocks into the beds of the semi trucks that would go, like the dump trucks that got the long beds. Well, my brother, in brilliant, infinite wisdom, decided to throw it at a camper, and it went through the front windshield.
Oh.
Yeah. So they obviously pulled over. We ran. Well, I was young at the time. I got caught. My brother made it. My buddy made it. And then there was another one with us that didn't make it, but he was just running and screaming. So we got busted for that one. So that was some of the dumb stuff we did.
That sounds like when we got busted with the eggs. I think I already told that story when I was a kid, and we went out egging houses. My aunt made me go with.
Yes.
And I was the one that, because I was 8, they were teenagers, and I still had my eggs, but I was younger and slower.
I have another story about breaking a window. So I was a brilliant
I
kid.
didn't break anything.
I was a brilliant
I
kid
had
at the
my
age of
eggs.
like 12. I think I got one of my footballs or something stuck up in a tree in the front of the house. And, why wouldn't you just throw rocks at it to try and get it out, right? Well, I missed, and it flew all the way across, hit the neighbor's front window, and broke it.
Ooh.
Yes, that was 2 for 2. Well, actually, I didn't break the first one. I got busted when my brother broke the window, but the second one,
Did you fess up?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Did you have to pay to have it fixed?
I did. But you know what the funny part was? So that was the neighbor that he was a really nice guy, and I was actually working. He was the head of soccer referees for the whole area, and I had started working as a referee. So they actually garnished my wages because he wrote my checks, and he took my money from there.
That's fantastic.
It is. But hey, I broke the window.
You make the punishment for the crime. We are firm believers in that, especially with our kids. You do something wrong, you make the punishment fit the crime. So I kind of really dig that they did that. That's the way to do it. I mean, you hit you where you hurt.
I got another one too. We were waiting at the bus stop. Back in the days of the bus stop when it was so cold out and your hair would freeze. But we would get bored sitting there.
You had
Yeah, we had a bus stop. I had hair too. Yes, back in the day I did have hair. I was not born. I was probably born bald. Had hair for a while, and then it just got tired and went away. Yes, that's how that went down.
It's better bald.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not a good it's not a good hair went away. It's running away from my face.
Disclaimer: we've known each other since we were 11.
Yeah, it's bad.
I moved away for a while, and but we lost contact. But then we got back together in our late 20s. However,
so we were waiting at the bus stop, and what are kids gonna do, right? And I think it had to be junior high at the time because it was about that age, so 6th, 7th grade.
Your sweatpants era.
Oh, I got a story about those too.
Oh, Lord.
But we're back onto this one. So we're waiting at the bus stop, and and we're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna kill like 5-6 minutes. Well, we decided to throw rocks. What did we throw rocks at? We threw rocks at the streetlight. Those streetlights that are hanging over, right? Who'd have thought that you'd hit it just right and the whole thing came crashing down as the bus was pulling up? So yeah.
They saw you do that?
Oh yeah. And then on top of that,
God, I was such a good kid.
On top
I
of
never
that,
did anything like that, and I swear to God.
The best part, on top of that, of course, my mom was a teacher in the district. So before I even made it to the school,
She already knew.
Mm-hmm.
His mom was my Spanish teacher, and
she wasn't even at that school. Remember, I was a junior high. She was a high school teacher, but she already knew.
But it was like it was on the same campus technically.
It was yeah. So yeah, I got busted for that one too. But back to the sweatpants story. Yes, I wore sweatpants all the time. 6th grade, hated jeans. Still not a huge fan of them. But it was raining. It was snowy. It was wet out, right? And where you bus dropped off, you used to walk around the building to get to the door. But it was wet. I slipped and fell on the day that I wore white sweatpants. All mud.
What boy wears white sweatpants?
Yeah, it wasn't a good look. I do not recommend it for anybody. However, it did happen. And it was the only time, unfortunately, that I wore the white sweatpants. Because at that point, I realized that this is a bad
I knew you then, and I really probably wish I made fun of you, and I hope I certainly did, because this guy, when we were in 7th grade.
7th grade.
We're in class.
Okay.
Okay. And I was moving my foot on the floor, and I made this noise. It kind of sounded like a fart noise. And then, lo and behold, remember those old school, if you're Gen Xers, those old school, like, desk chairs? They had, like, the desk attached to it, and they had, like, almost like these stone chairs. They weren't wooden.
Yeah.
They were, like, the stone. So they were, like, they were really cold and hard, but they were, like, stone. So anything you did, a.k.a. farting, maybe, really kind of echoed on said chairs. So I'm all the way in the back of class because, again, I'm a good kid, right? Silent in the class because we're taking a test. And as hard as I tried, I mean, and I was fighting it. My stomach was gurgling. It was really bad news going on, and and it wasn't a stinky one, but it was a loud one. Air farted.
It wasn't that loud.
It was loud.
It was loud enough for me to hear it.
And immediately after, I moved my foot and made the very similar sound with my foot. Oh, people looked around. I'm like, it was my shoe.
So it sounds plausible now.
Everybody else in the class kind of shook and was like, oh, because I continued to make the noise. Except for one kid.
One kid.
One kid in
What a
that
jerk.
class goes, oh no, she farted.
Well,
I wonder who
sounds
that
about right.
kid was.
I do too. Yeah, somebody clearly
It was
has
him.
emotional
It was that guy.
issues or something.
That guy right there, to this day, I still remember that. Now, see, full disclosure, we did date back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, between 8th grade and freshman year.
Yep.
We did. And we actually have a funny story, which we can get into at another time. But tell you what, some kid, anybody knew me as a younger person or throughout my life before him and I re-met, maybe heard the story about the guy that was stuck in my closet in my shower for, I'm not kidding, 8 hours.
Was I stuck the whole time in there? I mean, it was a long time.
You were stuck in there for quite some time.
I was in the bathroom for 2 to 3 hours.
And then in the shower.
Yeah.
So we will tell that full story because it is quite entertaining, but at this point we are not going to. However, flashing it all the way back to when we grew up,
Yep.
there are certain movies that my husband has not seen, certain movies from our age group that I believe were like a rite of passage. Like, it's almost like sacrilege that he has not seen these. Like
I agree.
Goonies. He
Yeah.
hadn't seen Dirty Dancing. He hadn't seen Footloose. To the sacrilege.
Yes.
Okay, so there's certain movies that my husband has not seen,
Yes.
and one of them being Lost Boys. And now,
Lost Boys, yes.
I'm going to tell you, I'm a huge like vampire type movie fan. I like movies that either keep me engaged, which a lot of comedies don't. But I also go in like, and I think that's my ADHD. However, like superhero movies or kind of unbelievable movies like vampires and witches and, you know, ghosts and goblins, those kinds of things, those usually keep me engaged and intrigued because I can go in with the frame of mind that it's not reality. So,
Right.
you know, you can't figure it out. And this guy has never been like a vampire, you know, ghosts and goblins or anything like that type of guy. So-
Never my jam.
We've decided, you know, with our daughter, there's not a lot of coming of age movies that are like not woke nowadays or not just family oriented. So, you know, we kind of brought back older movies with her, but then we've started to figure out things that he hadn't seen. So with that said, we just recently watched Lost Boys.
We did watch Lost Boys.
Now, from the point of view of me watching him watch this for the first time, he was so into it. I was so excited.
It's a good movie.
He really was into it. It's a good movie,
It is a
isn't
really good
it?
movie.
You were pleasantly surprised,
I
weren't
was.
you?
I was. I was actually, you know, honestly, what I said, the movie itself is the effects and the makeup quite good for that era. I mean, it was really good. I truly did enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
I did. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Now, just a fun fact, that saxophone player, he like was in the movie for 30 seconds with the big chains on his neck and the big muscle bound guy.
Okay.
Like, he's just known everywhere for that. And
is
still,
the-
like,
is
to
that
this day,
you
looks
talking
the
about
same.
that beach scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah, it was a good one. Who else? The
Jamie
Corys,
Gertz.
the two Corys.
yeah, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Kiefer.
Kiefer Sutherland.
There's a couple.
The guy from Bill and Ted's Excellent, Alex Winters, I think his name is. And then, yeah, the blonde dude.
Okay.
He's from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Okay. But the main the older guy, he was in a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, and Diane Weiss was the mom.
Okay.
I can't remember who the
I don't remember his
old
name.
guy was.
But
Jamie Gertz, fun fact about her,
Mm-hmm.
she's now a billionaire. She's originally from the Chicagoland area, but she married the Atlanta Hawks owner.
Mhm.
But they've been married since the 80s. I mean, it's not, you know, she still acts somewhat too.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Homegirl, billionaire now, the Lost Girls girl.
Yeah, that was
The Lost Boys girl.
It was a good movie.
Now, there are sequels to this.
Now,
I'm not sure I can get behind the sequels because I'm just not sure, but we can try.
so I have an opinion on sequels, and I think a lot of people share this opinion because some sequels are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Caddyshack 2, perfect example of the worst, almost worst sequel ever made.
Back to the Future.
It, we have issues now.
Beverly Hills Cops.
Those are good. I mean, Back to the Future is good.
See, so sequels, you're not right always.
No. That's what I'm saying. I mean, but certain sequels are just really bad.
Right.
I mean,
I think we need to give at least
there's
one of them a shot.
Who stars in it? If it's a new cast, I can't see
Corey
it.
Feldman's in it.
Okay.
The Frog Brothers, I believe. I'm not sure if one or both of them, because remember, he was the Frog Brother. Jason did you know,
Right.
just an FYI, Jason Patrick that's in it, Corey Haim's brother,
Okay.
his grandpa was Jackie Gleason from The Honeymooners.
That's a cool story.
Yeah,
You liked him.
I did. He's hot.
Yeah, Jameson liked him too.
Yeah, he really is a good-looking guy.
He was.
Yeah.
He got a little. It looked like he got a little strung out, but I'm thinking that's just because he got bitten by a vampire.
Yeah, I think that was part of the movie.
It was.
Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
it's a good movie, but I think you got to have Kiefer. Well, Kiefer died in it, and did he die in it? I don't even know. If he died in
Yeah,
it.
all the vampires died.
Oh, that's right.
They all died.
So yeah, I mean, you know who I really is Alex Winters with the old man. The
No,
grandpa?
Alex Winters was the guy from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the blonde dude. It was Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters.
So who was the grandpa?
I don't know.
That guy is fantastic in that movie.
He asked me these questions, and it's like he expects me to remember every
Well,
single person that was in the movie. And I'm good, but I'm not that good.
No, but we had talked about it. I thought we had looked it up. I
No,
can't remember because I'm
we
terrible
didn't,
at that.
and
But
no,
he's
I
good. The grandpa's funny. He's very funny in that movie.
Yes, he is.
So
Kind of a crotchety old man, kind of like.
yeah, like don't touch my stuff.
So we were, like back in the day, did you like the 70s, that 70s show?
I did.
Okay. So, and we watching that 70s show, you kind of like resonated with the cast because you
Yes.
kind of got it, right? But that 90s show came about and we watched that season on Netflix. And this time the kids were not our thing. We were
No.
kind of understanding the fact that after we watched it and I'm like, "Oh my God." Red was talking and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm ready.
and then Kitty's talking and I'm like, so we have gotten to the point where we're not the kids anymore. We're like,
Yeah, no, we're
the
no longer
old
the kids.
people.
I think we need to go back and watch Married with Children, and like shows of that generation and see
Yeah,
how
I
many
can't.
similarities to. And the reason I say that is because those shows are so.
I
old.
wasn't a huge fan of it then. Like it
Really?
just it was a lot of the same. Like I watched it every once in a while, but it wasn't really my thing. However, like Roseanne,
Yeah.
I did not like it when we were younger, but then when we got older, I loved it.
Yeah, Jackie
I really
still makes
did.
that show.
But the Connors, we were out
Oh,
once
yeah.
Roseanne left. It got so, and that's the problem with stuff nowadays. It's all kind of
Yeah,
got
Yeah.
an agenda, and why can't we just let TV be TV or movies be movies?
well, we're watching a really good show right now.
Yeah, we are. So I went through one day and picked a bunch of shows.
Mhm.
And one of the ones that I had picked was on Netflix called The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yep.
And I actually kind of shied away from Netflix simply. So anyways, to me, TV shows are supposed to be where you, and movies are where you escape. It's not where you have to deal with everything going on in today's world. It's, obviously going through first loves and stuff like that and heartbreak and but you don't have to put politics in it. And
Right.
so kind of like when it's in their shows, I'm out. However, we started a few new shows that
Yeah.
we really truly like. And one of them being The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yes.
And I watched the movie years ago when it had come out with Matthew McConaughey, and I really, really enjoyed the movie. So I'm like, you know what? Let's watch the program. It's on Netflix. So far, there's 2 seasons out. Nev Campbell is one of the stars of the show. But I'm going to tell you, every character in there, we love them.
We do.
Like it's really great. The first season, it's a it's an ongoing. So it's every episode. There's something different, like a new case or something.
Right.
However, the whole entire season has
Like the long running case.
the long running case, and like kind of like in a whodunit, and it was really great. As a matter of fact, this guy is not a huge fan of binging,
Not at
and
all.
we couldn't stop. It was like a great book that you could not put
That was
down.
good.
And now we're in season 2, and same thing. Like we're really excited, and I read that and it says right on there that it has been picked up for season 3, and then I also read somewhere that there's already a season 4 picked up too. So we're really, really excited. So The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix, highly recommend it.
Now it's funny. I'd never seen the movie. Didn't even know it was a movie. Had no clue.
It's also based on books, the Lincoln Lawyer books, if you enjoy reading.
I had just happened to see a bunch of reels, and they would show snippets of it. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I dug it. And then so when she was, saying, well, I saw this, I'm like, let's do that one. I'm like, because I like law shows. Like I said, L.A. Law was one of my favorite shows. L.A. Law and Perry Mason.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It's kind of what my mom had on, and I enjoyed them. So I could always go on that stuff.
Yeah, we really have a few programs that we are enjoying right now. Actually, not that many. I take that back. It's tonight is our tonight. So or last night.
It was last night.
Last night, the finale of our Death and Other Details. I'm going to
Is
tell
that the
you.
finale?
Yes.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
on
Because seasons
Hulu.
are only 8 episodes long.
You make them
8.
so mad.
Who does that? 8.
Hulu.
Golly.
In case you have not watched it or watched our podcast previously, Death and Other Details on
So
Hulu.
good.
We really, really enjoy
That
that
was
one. The finale was last night, so we're finally get to see who
Yeah,
and why.
Yeah.
And well, we kind of knew last week, but I think it's all tied together this week.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to. There's a lot of questions they still got to answer. So,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's kept us guessing pretty good.
Yeah, and it truly is just based on the mystery, on the whodunit.
Mhm.
It's and all the moving parts in there. There's no agendas, there's no anything with it. So it's really great. It
is.
really is.
I am enjoying it.
You started watching American Gladiator documentary
So
on
I
Netflix.
yeah, I did, and I think it's gonna be good. I didn't take my ADHD pill that day, so I was kind of having a hard time focusing. So I just got to make sure that I take that. It's I've heard that. I mean, clearly steroids were involved in American Gladiators, and if you didn't know that watching it, you knew it instantly. Watching it when it was
When you
on
got
TV
older, yeah.
from '89 to whatever, and it was it was.
So they were basically the first episode, and I think it was kind of boring because it was laying groundwork and basically saying how they got it out of production and how they got it out of imagination and how they started casting. And I think that's probably you get bored by details. You want to know.
I do.
You want to kind of get right into the.
Yeah,
he's like he wants to know the gossip. Like that's kind of your
Yeah,
forte. So I think maybe the next episode.
and the backstory on how they got there is fine and all that. Like I said, I just wasn't in that right
That is
headspace to
definitely
focus the
not
whole time.
his cup of tea though. But I think going forward maybe.
I might be all right with it.
So we're gonna continue on with that now. Another one that we watched on Hulu, obviously, was Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah,
Cannot
that's a
say
good one.
enough great things about
that's
it. We
good.
cannot wait for season 4. Highly recommend that one. But we watched one episode of Murder at the End of the World, and we were gonna watch an episode 2, and the first one was so weird. I don't think I want to go back to it. I think we kind of just agreed we don't want to go back to it.
I think there's so many options out there. We don't really need to.
Yeah,
I think we're figuring out that if we like it, we'll keep going.
Right.
But if we're on the fence, there's no reason
yeah.
because just on Hulu alone, hundreds, if not thousands, of options.
I have us narrowed down to a few that I want to start watching,
Okay.
and maybe if some of y'all watched them, you can kind of give us an idea on how they are, what you thought about it. Let me see if I can find it in my handy dandy notebook because I'm a pen and paper kind of girl.
That's right.
Let's see here. Okay, so Poker Face on Peacock.
We did watch the
We
first
watched
episode.
one episode. I liked it, but her voice was really gravelly, and her voice, I don't know,
What,
kind
that's
of
it?
like how you felt about Selena Gomez in Murders Only in the Building, or
Mhm.
Only Murders in the Building. It was her voice for me. It sounds like she's got just gravel in there and she needs to drink some water. Like
Yeah.
she sucked on some sand and
That's just her voice. 'Cause that's
I
how
know.
she was in American Pie too.
Oh. So I'm hoping I can get past it because I really actually liked the premise of
The
it.
premise of the show is cool.
We did watch Nine Perfect Strangers on Hulu.
Oh my goodness.
That was a weird,
That's a
trippy
good
show.
one.
Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy,
And other people.
Bobby Cannavale. There's a couple of people that were in there that kind of just were throwaways and really shouldn't have been in the film.
Yeah.
However, we recommend it. It's a limited series. There was, I don't remember how many episodes there was, maybe 10. And watch it. If you want something to kind of just, you got to, again, go in with an open mind, knowing that it's kind of like, it's going to take its trippy. Then, let's see. Now, there's one also on Peacock that I wanted to check out, which was based on a true story. It's got Kaylee Cuoco in it.
No, that's right. Yeah, you were talking about that one.
And basically what it is it's kind of going on the true crime junkie type of thing. And apparently there's a murder that happens like in their neighborhood or close to their house. And they decided, let's make a podcast about it and investigate it or something along those lines. So it's kind of like a dramedy. I think it's like a comedy drama type of thing. So
I'm in on that.
And then there's one called also on, now the last three, these are all on Peacock. The Resort on Peacock. It follows a couple that are married for like 10 years. They don't have any kids and they go away on this island resort. And there was an unsolved murder there. And I don't remember well, obviously I don't remember, but I don't know how it happens, but they somehow stumble on some sort of clue that is linked to this unsolved mystery. And I think at that point they then, I don't know if they investigate themselves or they become part of the investigation or however. But again, it's another limited series.
I'm noticing that a lot, actually. A lot of these things are limited series.
And I'm okay with that. Like, honestly, sometimes I think with our attention span,
yeah, that's true.
you know, with the ADHD, truly, like a limited series that kind of keeps us invested.
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually not the worst thing.
No.
You know, I mean.
The only thing that bothers me is it's like when I really like a show and it's a limited series, it's like, you're done.
Yeah.
Because very rarely do they have season 2.
You know, I have a funny story about that. So I love to read. I'm an avid reader. And the older I get, well, not even the older I get, like I used to love like Flowers in the Attic and series stuff like that. Like when I was younger, I really loved like Sweet Valley High and the Babysitter's Club, if that's what it's called. And you know, they have a show now, the Babysitter's Club. I used to wish they had when we were kids. I'm just saying. Anyhow. I love book series, and I find myself reading these book series as I gotten older.
Yes,
now, I like mystery, romance, rom-coms. I read them on my Kindle, so it's not like something I'm going to say go out and buy. But I have a hard time like reading the final one because it's kind of like,
oh yeah, you do.
Those people like I fell in love with, and you're invested, and they're part of like, and it's like I have to say goodbye. So it's I get it.
I don't.
You don't like it when the show ends on those limited series.
But I still watch it till the end. That's the difference. I know how it ends.
I still keep them alive.
Yeah.
I know I'm crazy. It's all right.
And it's just how you are.
The last one that I have written down for us to watch is The Lost Symbol on Peacock. Now, that goes along with the Dan Brown, The Da Vinci Code. You didn't watch any of those movies. I know you didn't. It's the Tom Hanks movies where, The Da Vinci Code, where they go searching all of these, like, ancient relics and stuff to figure out who killed whatever, and so it's a murder mystery.
Okay.
So right up my alley, and when it's got symbols and all sorts of history stuff in there, like kind of like an Indiana Jones ish, but not really type of thing, I am in.
Good.
So, something a little bit out of your range. So
a little bit.
Now that we are talking about movies, I have some little fun facts here about movies. I have done some top 10s.
Okay.
And I have got movies from 85 this week.
Okay.
1985.
Top 10 movies?
Top 10 movies. I have top 10 movies.
So I'm guessing these were in the movie theater?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In the box office.
Okay.
Top 10.
Got it.
This week in 1985, 1989, and 1991.
Okay.
All right.
1985. All right, let's do it.
All right. So, at number 10 in 1985, and no, I have not seen every one of them, and no, I cannot tell you about every single one of them, but here they are.
Okay.
Number 10, Amadeus.
Never heard of it.
Basically,
that's got to be about a movie about Mozart?
Mozart, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Mischief. No idea.
Not a clue.
The Falcon and the Snowman.
You can get the premise by the name, but I guarantee that's not what it is.
No. It's. I believe there may have been a TV show by the same name. I think they were like their CIA monikers, maybe a Spy Whodunit type of movie. Number 7,
Okay.
The Breakfast Club.
Only number 7?
Yeah, well, it's only this week. Okay,
Such a good movie.
this week in 1985. Number 6, Tomboy.
Tommy Boy.
No,
Okay.
that was way later.
Okay.
A Passage to India
Mm-mm.
is number 5. Number 4,
Number 4?
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. The
Number,
original?
yeah, 1985, February of 1985.
Cool.
All right, number 3, The Killing Fields.
I've heard of it, but never seen it.
Number 2, Witness. This is Harrison Ford, Kelly McGillis. She was like an Amish woman. He was like in the FBI. I watched that movie. I should never have watched that movie in that time, but I watched that movie. And then number 1,
Wait,
which
hold on. Was this Kelly McGillis prior to Top Gun or after? And that had to be prior to
prior
Top Gun.
to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then number 1,
Number 1 this week in 1985?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Makes sense.
I had no idea that it was out at the same time as A Nightmare on Elm Street
And Breakfast Club.
and Breakfast Club. I mean, those are 3 pretty amazing movies. Not to negate the other ones, but
No,
those
that's
are
good.
pretty, like,
Yeah.
to this day, pretty big
That's
name
crazy.
movies
I think
where
they're making another Beverly Hills Cop.
they are. Axel F, I believe is what it's called.
Well.
But I think it's on Netflix, maybe.
No, they got to release that.
I don't know.
But they are making Lethal Weapon
5.
5.
Okay, I loved those movies.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm a huge Mel Gibson
Danny
fan.
Glover's coming back. He's going to be in 75 or 76.
I have the movie or the songs for that time too, but let's stick with movies for now.
Okay.
So that was 85.
85.
Now we're going February of 1989. Okay.
I'm wondering if we got a sequel or two on this list from the first list.
All
I'm
right.
curious about it.
No.
Oh,
Number 10,
okay.
Mississippi Burning.
I've heard of it.
That was
It sounds like a racial movie.
it was I remember watching that movie then, and that still has stuck with me.
Yeah.
It's
I've never
it's
seen
quite
it.
insane. It's about the civil rights and
Yeah, I kinda
these
figured.
workers that were it. Number 9,
Number 9?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Excellent.
Yeah, we were just talking about that
Yep.
because yeah. Number 8, Working Girl. Melanie Griffith was in it. She
Haven't seen it, but I do remember.
Sigourney Weaver. It was a great movie. The soundtrack was good too.
Okay, I believe you.
Number 7,
Mhm.
Twins.
Ah, fantastic.
Danny DeVito, Arnold
Love it.
Schwarzenegger.
Love it.
Number 6, Her Alibi.
I never even heard of that
I
one.
think, yeah, there's like a supermodel in it or something. Number 5,
Mhm.
The Fly 2. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I know the movie. I saw The Fly 1, and I wasn't horribly impressed with it, so I never saw The Fly 2.
Yeah, sci-fi is not my thing.
Yeah,
Not at all.
I don't feel it.
So, except for Star Wars. I don't like Star Trek, but Star Wars, everything
Eh.
was always. He's not.
No.
normal.
The original 3, I'm in. The Jar Jar Binks killed it.
Okay, shush, we'll get back to that.
Sorry.
Number 4,
Mhm.
The Burbs.
Tom Hanks? No. Or Keaton. Or either one of them.
I don't know.
Never
I don't
saw
remember.
it. You know what I think? I'm thinking Mr. Mom. I don't know about The Burbs.
Yeah,
I think-
The Burbs. Number 3, Beaches. I loved that movie. Bette
Beaches.
Midler. Mayim Bialik was Bette Midler when she was younger. Barbara Hershey, Bette Midler. It was like,
Very interesting.
yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, I believe you.
Number 2, Three
Yeah.
Fugitives. I think Chevy Chase might have been in that. I'm not sure.
You're thinking Three Amigos.
Hmm,
He might have
maybe.
been Three Fugitives. I don't know.
And number 1,
Number 1. This week in 1989.
Wapner.
What? Wapner? They did
Rain
make it.
Man.
Huh?
Judge Wapner, 3 o'clock. Rain Man. Rain Man.
Oh, Rain Man.
Rain Man. Did you never see Rain Man?
I did see Rain Man. The Wapner wasn't going to give it to me.
See what I have to deal with? See?
If you would have talked about when he would only fly one airline because they had the lowest, amount of crashes.
Do you remember which one it was?
It was a
Kwanzaa
European,
or something?
yeah, it was a European airline.
I think it was
or Qantas, maybe.
Qantas. I think it was like an Australian one.
It might have been.
Anyway, now,
Now,
1991. Top 10 movies for this week in 1991.
91. All right,
Let's
hear
see
it.
how many of these you've seen.
Oh, we're struggling here.
I Saw Red. Oh, wait. Nope. Those aren't those songs.
No,
Never
we're
mind.
not doing songs.
Movies.
Movies.
Never Ending Story 2.
Well,
Did you ever see Never Ending Story 1?
I did not.
Oh my goodness. He's
Oh.
not right. He's just not right.
And I'll be honest with you. I think the title of it kind of throws me off.
Oh, God, that was one of my absolute favorite movies growing up.
I have no idea what it's even about.
We're gonna have to watch Neverending Story.
How long is it? Feels like it's gonna be a long
No,
one.
it's not long. Oh my goodness. Okay. Number 9, Once Around.
Never heard of it.
Don't know. Probably should have written like who was in this, but I
What's
think it's more fun just winging it.
What's the fun in that?
Number 8, Awakenings.
Yeah, nothing. I got nothing.
I think they may have been in a no. They weren't in the
I'm
mental
guessing
hospital.
it's some kind of.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
7, White Fang. That was about a wolf. That I do know. That
It was about a wolf.
Yeah, I think it was a Disney movie. It was a live action movie, but I think it was about a wolf.
I thought for some reason we had to watch that for school, but
Maybe.
I might be thinking, what's the Costner one with a wolf?
Dances with Wolves. That's like 75 million hours long, but it's a good movie
Yeah.
though. It really is a good movie.
Oh, I actually got a story about Dance with Wolves. Go ahead.
Okay, number 6,
Mhm.
King Ralph.
Great movie.
Yes,
That
John
movie's
Goodman.
fantastic.
He found out he was like a long lost
The entire
royalty, and it
British
was
royal family got electrocuted at a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And they found him.
Yeah, I've got royalty. Yeah, you can trace us back.
Not me.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Not
me.
him.
Mm-mm. I married into it though.
Yeah, yeah.
King Ralph's so good.
5, LA Story. That was like a film noir. No, it wasn't. I'm thinking LA Confidential. Never mind. LA Story.
Never heard of it.
Number 4, Dances with Wolves.
So what's funny about Dances with Wolves? Now that I can tell my story,
Okay.
we had to watch it when everybody got to go to DC.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
go
I didn't
to
go to
DC,
DC.
but I stayed home.
I actually had to go to school.
I
And,
got sick,
my mom wouldn't let me go to DC because the whole Saddam Hussein thing going on at the time.
and my mom
So
wouldn't let
she-
me go to DC just because my mom wouldn't let me go to DC,
Yeah,
even
she-
though I offered to pay for it. She
My
wouldn't
brother,
let me
I actually don't even know if my brother went, but I know.
go. Isn't that funny, Saddam Hussein? Like what stopped our parents from doing stuff?
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
yeah, she thought he was gonna. Yeah, there was some stuff going on at DC.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go.
Number 3,
Mhm.
1991, Home Alone,
Okay.
the first one, the very first one.
Another fantastic Christmas movie.
There's a lot of good movies that are coming out and are like on the charts in February. It seems,
Yeah,
so
I don't-
far. I mean,
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
so number 2,
Mhm.
Silence of the Lambs. That insanely good movie, but I read the books and I read the prequel to
So I've seen parts of that movie. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Michael,
I understand the premise.
it will
of
put the lotion in the basket.
No, I understand. I understand the premise of the movie, but I haven't seen it the whole way through.
It's a good movie. I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
they have
obviously.
a TV show about Clarice. Clarice.
Wasn't she
With
trying?
fava beans.
The premise of it wasn't she trying to use because he was like some brilliant mastermind or whatever,
He was a serial killer who
Right.
ate people, a la
And-
Jeffrey Dahmer type.
and she was trying to solve some other murders, but using
Him.
him to help her.
Because
Right?
yeah.
But he was locked behind the case and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I understand the premise of it, and I've seen, like I said, I've seen parts of it. I just haven't seen the whole thing.
With some Chianti and some fava beans.
Yeah, so yeah, I get it.
And then number 1,
Mhm.
Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts.
Never saw it.
That was a great movie.
Never saw
It freaked you the hell out. Like, so obviously this happened in 1991. I'm going to give a spoiler. She was a victim of domestic violence. She
Okay.
lived this storybook life. He was wealthy, but he beat the crap out of her. So she faked her own death. She went swimming. She was
Oh.
a swimmer. She went swimming in the ocean and drowned, and she just disappeared.
Okay,
And started a new life.
sure.
And he ended up finding her, and so
Was he looking for her?
yeah.
So he had
I don't
this
remember
assumption that
how
she was not dead?
yeah, I don't remember because they never found her body.
Mm.
So,
Always got to have a body.
mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
hear ya.
sir.
Those are pretty good movies, though.
Yeah, they are. But, think about that. In February's, this week, right? And
Yeah.
91, we've got Home Alone, Silence of the Lambs. Those are pretty good movies, right?
Well, and Home Alone came out prior to Christmas. So that lasted some time to still be number 3 on the charts.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
I mean, there's some really great movies.
There are.
There really are that came out in February.
Only one Tom Cruise flick.
Which one?
It was in, God, which one was it that you said?
I didn't think there was a Tom
I
Cruise
thought
one.
there was one.
No, there
89?
was not. Not in 89.
Pretty sure there was.
Oh, Rain Man.
This guy.
You got something right.
It doesn't happen often with movies. I'll tell you that right now.
No. He doesn't. No, that's not your thing. No. Sports. He's a walking Rolodex of sports.
It used to be. I don't even watch it anymore.
But you can talk about back in the day and stats and everything like that. Sure. But when it comes to movies and music, that wasn't your thing.
This was my jam.
Sports were your escape.
Yeah, we were always outside, and we playing basketball, playing guns, playing football, playing hockey. I mean, that's what we did.
But that was the era we were in too. That's the boys did, and the girls were movies and music. I mean,
yeah, and shopping. Girls like to go to the mall.
Well, that's back when you can actually send your kid to the mall and it be okay.
Yeah,
times are different.
They are.
There's no way in hell. Like, my daughter wants to have a bike. She's gonna be 16 years old. Okay, let's take it a step further. She's got her driver's license. She's 15 and a half in the state of South Carolina. At 15 and a half, you can have what's called a restricted license. So basically, they have to drive during daylight hours only. But she can drive freely wherever she would like to. And
she takes her brothers to school.
I won't even let her go to Walmart by herself. I don't even want to go to Walmart by myself.
I don't like you going to Walmart by yourself.
Not with today's day and age, not with everything that's happening. It's terrifying. But no, I mean, and to think about where we went and what we did on our bicycles, like we were gone all hours. We were gone. Our parents had no idea where we were. I could track our kids. Like, I know, even our adults, I have their locations. Yeah. And it's not because I want to keep tabs on them, but just in case something happens.
Yeah.
I mean.
It's creepy how accurate it is. She found me on the golf course on a specific hole.
In my defense, he was in a tournament, and
it's not that she was.
I was going to surprise him to watch, and so I'm like, "Gee,"
it's cool.
And your daughter actually said, "Well, just pull up his location." I
had no idea.
So I pulled up his location, and sure as shit, there he was. So
they start walking up. I'm like, "How did you know which hole I was on?" They're like, "I'm like, oh, that's damn accurate." So
but
it's pretty
don't
cool.
mind our dog. But it's cool, but it's terrifying.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, technology, that's how it is now.
It's cool, but terrifying. Again.
What's crazy?
Pen and paper kind of girl. This is not terrifying.
But what's funny is now these movies were in the movie theater, and we don't go to movie theaters anymore.
No, we went and saw Maverick was our last one. But
that was good.
Yeah, but since we've been together, and we've been together for almost 20 years, we have gone to see 3 movies in the movie theater together. And those were all ones that I had to see. 2 of them were a Halloween movie, and one of them was Maverick. And then you went and saw one with the guys. I think it was Dumber and Dumber and
Dumb and Dumber 2. And that was tear-inducing at the end.
That is, I'm going to own this term as my own. The descriptor. There's chick flicks, but then there's dick flicks. Yep. You need to have a penis to watch them and enjoy them. I believe that the Dumb and Dumbers and most of Jim Carrey movies fall into that category.
I haven't even seen, well, speaking of Jim Carrey, I haven't seen Truman Show. Heard that one's pretty good.
Yeah. It's creepy if you think about it.
It's almost like...
Big Brother is watching you and everything that you do, but you have no idea. But on that note...
Everybody have a great night.
Till we meet again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any ideas for our next podcast, give us some ideas, or any topics you think we should talk about, or any movies we missed, or years you want to go over. See you next time.
Have a good night, guys.